Welcome back to My Life on a GLP1, the podcast where we dive into the real, unfiltered experiences of living with GLP1 medications. I'm your host, Scott Johnson.
And I'm Sarah, your co-host who's been on this wild GLP1 journey right alongside all of you. Scott, today we're talking about something that sounds like it belongs in a children's book but is very real for many of our listeners.
That's right, Sarah. We're talking about what I have started to call the Glurpies, also known as hiccups. And if you've experienced these, you know exactly what we mean. These aren't your garden variety hiccups, folks.
Oh my goodness, Scott. The first time I experienced these, I literally thought something was wrong with me. Imagine me in a quiet yoga class feeling zen, and suddenly I sound like a foghorn having an existential crisis.
Exactly. These hiccups are not a cute, dainty hiccup. They are deep, theatrical, almost guttural, and honestly sound more like thunder rolling through your entire abdomen than regular hiccups. We've heard from listeners who describe them as sounding like opera singers warming up, or, my personal favorite, like a bear trying to clear its throat.
But there's actually science behind why these happen, right, Scott? It's not just our bodies being dramatic for no reason.
Absolutely. GLP1 medications like Mounjaro and Zepbound slow down gastric emptying. Basically, food sits in your stomach longer. This can cause stomach distension, which irritates the diaphragm above it. When your diaphragm gets irritated, it spasms and voila, you get these dramatic glurpies.
When food lingers longer in the stomach, increased pressure builds up, potentially irritating the diaphragm and the vagus nerve, two key players in the hiccup reflex mechanism.
The depth and resonance of Mounjaro-related hiccups stem from the underlying mechanism causing them. When the diaphragm contracts forcefully due to significant stomach distension, it creates a more dramatic movement than typical hiccup triggers. This forceful contraction, combined with the potentially altered breathing patterns that accompany delayed gastric emptying, produces the characteristic deep, reverberating sound. The increased irritation and pressure create a more forceful diaphragmatic response, resulting in those memorable, room-filling hiccup performances.
Speaking of timing, we received an email from Jennifer in Portland who discovered that drinking warm water with a teaspoon of honey actually helps stop her thunder hiccups faster than traditional hiccup remedies. And Mike, a listener from my hometown of Manchester, swears by gentle, diaphragmatic breathing exercises. You know, the kind where you breathe deeply into your belly rather than your chest.
I love our listeners sending in their stories which contributed to today's topic. But let's be real here, folks. The timing of these glurpies sometimes come at the most inopportune times. You almost have to laugh at it to maintain your coping mechanisms.
One of our community members shared that they got hit with thunder hiccups during a client presentation. Imagine trying to maintain your professional composure while sounding like you're channeling Zeus himself.
Oh, the stories we get. Someone else wrote in about getting the glurpies during their wedding vows. Talk about memorable. But here's what you can do to manage them. Eat smaller meals, avoid carbonated drinks, and try to stay upright for at least an hour after eating.
Those strategies really work. I've also found that eating slower helps tremendously. I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're finally able to enjoy food again after the nausea phase, but it makes a difference.
And let's talk about the elephant in the room, the social awkwardness. These hiccups can be loud, deep, and embarrassing, but remember, most people understand more than you think. Have a sense of humor about it when you can. I've started just saying, "Excuse me, that's my medication being dramatic."
That's such a healthy approach, Scott. I've also started carrying a small water bottle everywhere and taking tiny sips when I feel them coming on. Another thing that really helps is planning your eating schedule around important events. If I have a meeting or social engagement, I make sure to eat at least 2 hours beforehand and keep my meal light.
I love that approach. And here's the positive perspective we always try to maintain. The glurpies are usually temporary. For most people, they improve as your body adjusts to the medication.
Plus, they're actually a sign that your medication is working, slowing down that gastric emptying process that helps with weight loss.
Exactly, Sarah. Your body is literally doing what it's supposed to do. And while it might sound like you're auditioning for a nature documentary about whales, it's working toward your health goals.
So, if you're dealing with thunder hiccups, or glurpies as Scott calls them, remember you're not alone. Our community is full of people who've been exactly where you are. Share your stories, your coping strategies, and yes, even your most embarrassing moments with us. We love hearing from you and hope you will take a moment to share our podcast with others. And I kindly ask you to take a moment after listening today to leave us comments and 5-star review on your streaming services. Tell us, Scott, what final advice do you have for us today? Or are you going to start teaching us new words like the glurpies?
It's a great word, right? Now, we always want to mention that while thunder hiccups are generally harmless and expected, if you're experiencing severe or persistent symptoms that interfere significantly with your daily life, it's worth discussing with your healthcare provider. They might be able to adjust your dosage or timing or suggest additional strategies specific to your situation. I hope you will take the time to visit our website for the latest articles and stories at mylifeonglp1.com. We appreciate you being with us and always love getting your emails. Keep them coming. On behalf of Sarah, I'm Scott Johnson. Thanks for joining us, and remember, whether you're dealing with thunder hiccups, nausea, or any other side effect, we're here with you every step of the way. Until next time, keep moving forward, and always remember to love your journey.